Life can often feel like a whirlwind, a constant rush toward the next big thing. We're told to hustle, to chase that breakthrough moment that will change everything. But what if this frantic pace is the very thing holding us back? The ancient Stoics, particularly the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, saw this chase for what it is, an illusion. They understood that true power doesn't come from a single, explosive event. It comes from something far quieter, far more steady. It comes from a deep understanding of process. Today, we're going to uncover that single, actionable secret from Marcus Aurelius that redefines patience not as passive waiting, but as the most active strength you can cultivate. We live in a culture obsessed with the myth of the overnight success. We see the final product, the victory lap, the moment of arrival. We don't see the thousands of hours of practice, the countless small failures, the quiet discipline that built the foundation for that single moment. This illusion is incredibly seductive because it promises a shortcut. It tells us that if we just wait for the right opportunity, the right connection, the right idea, everything will fall into place. But this waiting has a heavy emotional cost. It creates a deep-seated anxiety, a constant feeling of being behind, of not measuring up because our big moment hasn't arrived yet. We become dependent on external validation, a promotion, a milestone, a like, a comment, to feel like we're making progress. This dependence makes our sense of worth fragile. When the validation doesn't come, our motivation crumbles. We stall. We give up, believing we simply don't have what it takes, when the real problem is that we were looking at the wrong finish line. The Stoic perspective offers a profound shift away from this anxiety. It asks us to focus not on the unpredictable external event, but on what is always within our control, our own actions. You cannot control when you'll get that big break. You cannot control the market or another person's opinion. But you can control showing up today. You can control the effort you put into a single task. You can control your commitment to practicing your craft for 30 minutes. This shift is the first step. It moves you from being a passive passenger waiting for the train to arrive, to being the engineer, focused on laying each section of track, one piece at a time. This is where we find the secret. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Let the wrong which is done by a man stay there where the wrong was done." While this speaks to not being harmed by the actions of others, the deeper principle is about focus. Don't let external events, setbacks, criticisms, or the lack of a big moment distract you from your path. Your job is the process itself. So what is this process? It is the deliberate breaking down of any goal into a series of small, manageable, and completely non-negotiable steps. It's not about writing a book, it's about writing 300 words today. It's not about transforming your health, it's about choosing a healthy meal for lunch. The power isn't in the grandiosity of the goal, but in the humility of the action. This is the psychological shift from outcome dependence to action dependence. When you make this shift, something remarkable happens. The overwhelming weight of the larger goal vanishes. You are no longer crushed by the mountain you have to climb, you are simply taking the next step. And with each step completed, no matter how small, you build genuine confidence. This isn't the fragile confidence of external praise, it's the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are the kind of person who does what they set out to do. You trusted yourself to write those 300 words, and you did it. That trust compounds. Let's take a practical example. Imagine you want to learn to play the guitar. The outcome-dependent approach is to dream of playing a complex song flawlessly for an audience. This vision is so distant it's paralyzing. The process-dependent approach is to commit to 10 minutes of practicing chord changes every single day. The goal is not the song, the goal is the 10 minutes. Some days your fingers will fumble. The music will sound terrible. But if you held your 10-minute practice, you succeeded. You were faithful to the process. And little by little, the air feels cooler. The frustration doesn't disappear, but your relationship to it changes. You begin to trust that showing up is enough. This is where patience transforms from a concept into a tangible force. It is no longer about waiting for something to happen. It becomes an unwavering commitment to the process itself. Patience is the decision to practice your 10 minutes on the guitar even when you feel no motivation. It is the choice to write your 300 words even when you are convinced they are terrible. This is not passive. This is the most active form of strength there is. This practice builds a specific kind of resilience. When external setbacks come, a rejected application, a critical comment, a missed opportunity, they no longer have the power to derail you. Why? Because your sense of progress is no longer tied to them. Your progress is measured by your fidelity to your daily actions. The criticism may sting, but it cannot touch the quiet confidence you built by showing up for yourself every day. That confidence is internal. It is a fortress you have built brick by brick through your small, steady actions. Contrast this with motivation-based effort. Motivation is a fantastic feeling, but it is as fragile as a summer storm. It comes and goes. Relying on it is like building your house on sand. When the motivational high wears off, which it always does, the work stops. But process-based effort, this Stoic patience, is built on a foundation of discipline. It is steady. It is reliable. It is the calm that remains after the storm of emotion has passed. You are not waiting to feel like doing the work. You are doing the work because that is who you are. That is the identity you are building. The long-term effect of this is a profound transformation of character. You are no longer the person who gives up when it gets hard. You become the person who persists. This compound effect applies not just to your skills, but to your very being. The results will come, almost as a side effect of this unwavering commitment to the process. The superpower was never about the outcome you achieved, it was about the person you became in the pursuit of it. So how do you integrate this into the chaos of daily life? It begins with a single question, a modern interpretation of a Stoic morning ritual. Each morning, ask yourself, what is the one small step I can take today to honor my process? Not a giant leap, not the entire journey, just one small, manageable step that is entirely within your control. This question immediately focuses your mind on action, not outcome. Your measure of a successful day shifts completely. You do not measure it by whether you got the promotion or finished the entire project. You measure it by a much simpler, more powerful metric. Did I do the one small thing I said I would do? Did I honor my commitment to the process? If the answer is yes, then today was a victory. It does not matter what the external world did or did not provide. There will be days when motivation is thin, when patience feels like a distant memory. This is not a sign of failure, it is the entire point of the practice. On these days, you lean into the Stoic concept that the obstacle is the way. The low motivation is not a barrier to your progress, it is the raw material for it. Your commitment to action in the face of that resistance is what forges real strength. You do not have to stop the thoughts of doubt. You do not have to feel excited. You just have to give your breath a job, and your hands a task. You just have to take the step. Remember, this superpower is not perfected instantly. It is built through repetition. It is the quiet accumulation of days where you chose the process over the impulse, discipline over distraction. It is the gentle, steady rhythm of showing up, even, and especially, when you don't feel like it. That is the secret. That is the practice. The shift is complete. Patience is no longer passive waiting, it is active process. This is the skill you cultivate, the superpower you build one small step at a time. I encourage anyone feeling stuck or overwhelmed to give this single question a try tomorrow morning. Remember, every great journey begins with that first, small, steady step.